Computer programming is problem solving. Here's a problem. You want to write a Python program that prompts the user to enter the cost of a meal and the desired tip percent, and then we're going to have the program output and display the tip amount and the total bill. Well, the first thing you want to do in solving a computer programming problem like this is make sure you understand it. Read it through several times if necessary. Sometimes you'll want to make a sketch, maybe a table. It's a good idea to pick up a pencil and paper. In this particular case, this is a rather common situation that it's easy to understand. So the next step that you might want to try is an example. For example, let's say that we have a meal that's costing $45 and the tip percent is 15%. Well, what are the steps that you would do with the pencil and paper to work this out? First of all, you could work out the tip, the cost of the meal times the percentage, making sure you divide by 100, and that works out to $6.75 in this 75 cents in this example. Next thing you would do is you would add the cost of the meal and the tip together to get the total cost of the meal, in this case $51.75. Okay, so this helps you understand what's needed to solve the problem and how the calculations work. And it leads to something called pseudocode. Pseudocode is ordinary English in which you describe the steps required to solve a program, put them in the proper order, possibly choose variable names that you're going to use for any variables that are needed in the program, and also specify the outputs that the program has to produce. And we've done that here with these 6 steps, as you can see. And they are in the right order. First thing you're going to do is get the user inputs from the user, 2 of those. Then you're going to do the calculation for the tip percent. Then you're going to add that on to the meal cost to get the total, and then you've got 2 outputs. So this leads directly to the program. Let's take a look at the program. Here's the program that we want, and I'll just shut this other window. Okay, we're going to call it tip calculator. It's going to compute the tip and the total bill. We've got our main function, which is where your program should start and finish. And here's the pseudocode. I've actually copy-pasted the pseudocode directly into the program, and I can use this pseudocode to write the program. I'll just actually translate the pseudocode into Python code step by step. Here's how it might go. First of all, you got to get the user inputs. So I have to have 2 prompts. That's where we use the input function. And in the case of the cost of the meal, it's probably going to be dollars and cents, of course. And so that could have decimal places, so we're going to use a float type. So we'll use the input function and the float function to get the meal cost and store it in a variable called meal cost. Notice that the meal cost variable was decided upon in the pseudocode. Okay, actually up here is where we decided on what variable name to use. So writing the pseudocode helps you with your variable names. Similarly, we're going to work out the tip percent, we're going to have the tip percent entered by the user and store it in a variable called tip percent. Now we'll do the math. There's the calculation part of the program. We'll calculate the tip by multiplying the cost of the meal by the tip percent, remembering to divide by 100 to convert that percent into a decimal. And then we'll add those 2 together to get the total cost of the meal. And then finally, we'll generate the output that we want, which is 2 print statements required, and we'll output the tip. And then we'll use the format function to format it with 2 decimal places, which of course makes it look like currency. We'll also put the $ right here before the closing, the string, and we'll use the sep equals and just two quote marks here to indicate that there's no separation between the $ and the number that we are going to format. And that's the best way to generate your currency output. Well, let's see how this runs. We'll give it a run here. And why don't we try the exact example that we tried. It's 45 and 15. And there it is. That verifies with the what we got with our analysis and our example. You can see from our example we got 5175, and that's exactly what we get as well with our actual program. So we can be pretty confident that we've got it right. Of course, we can try it with other values as well. But I hope you see the value of the pseudocode. Planning the program, pseudocode is a great help. It gets the steps that you need, puts them in the right order, allows you to choose variable names, and allows you to specify your output. Now, when you think you have a program done, like we are at that stage right now in this program, you want to make sure you look back at the requirements and make sure that you've solved what the problem was required to do. And in this case, I think it's true that we have met the requirements. Okay? Hope that helps.